Come in, damn it. You're sure a punctual bastard.
Welcome to the podcast at Orgy Castle. Sit back, darling, and enjoy with your hosts Derek and Paula.
Orgy the Dead is such a wonderful piece of cinema.
Is it now? Just asking. I mean, what exactly, Derek, makes Orgy of the Dead an amazing piece of cinema? I'm just curious.
Oh, Paula.
Oh, Derek.
Okay, so confession time.
Oh, podcast at Orgy Castle Confessions.
Do we have confession music to play in the background? What would be confession music?
Careless Whisper.
Just boo-doo-doo-doo.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And I'm never gonna dance again. Derek, tell me your deepest, darkest confession.
So I was talking with someone recently about, because this was coming up on the podcast, and I've done this on Astro Radio Z before. Episode number 100, we did a commentary track for Orgy of the Dead. And in that episode, I talked about, same with this other person, Orgy of the Dead is perhaps one of the first sexploitation films I ever saw growing up. When I was about 12, 13 years old, I went over to my bud Jeremy's for a sleepover. Mm-hmm. And his dad was never around. And we always hung out with his mom, and she would take us to the video store, and we went to Blockbuster Video one night. And she's like, Derek, you can choose whatever you want. We picked two movies that night. The Undertaker and His Pals and Orgy of the Dead. And I just remember us sitting there like, what the fuck are we watching?
Yeah, that's a pretty good response to have to this. Had you ever seen anything Ed Wood before?
I didn't know what Ed Wood was.
So this is your first exposure to Ed Wood, okay.
Yeah, 12, 13 years old. I have no concept that there are directors. I have no concept that people actually made these movies at that age. You kind of just figure someone turns a camera on and shit happens.
Okay.
You don't know what an editor is. You don't know what a choreographer is, a cinematographer.
Yeah, this movie didn't know what a choreographer was either.
Yeah, exactly. Neither did anyone that made Orgy of the Dead.
Yeah, not at all.
But over the years, for some reason, this movie has just stuck around for me. I bought the soundtrack separately. Rhino released it many years ago. And I think it was the soundtrack, listening to the dialogue and the music without the visuals, solidified something about this movie that just like struck a chord deep in my psyche where I was just like, I absolutely fucking love this.
Wow. Now, the soundtrack reminded me of going to Fur's Cafeteria with my dad when I was like 7, and there was a piano player who played all these songs, and he would go and sit and talk to the piano player, and we'd just all be sitting there for like 2 hours, like literally waiting for dad to stop talking to the fucking piano player while they played music like this. So that's kind of what it reminded me of. It made me crave mashed potatoes and gravy. So what do you think?
Did you ever have somebody lazily shaking their boobs while eating mashed potatoes and gravy?
No.
So are you telling me this is the first time you've ever seen Orgy of the Dead?
It is. It is the first time I've ever seen Orgy of the Dead. When you told me we were doing this movie, I thought it was something else completely. I thought it was more of a... I can't remember which movie I thought it was, but it was definitely more along the lines of Terror at Orgy Castle. So that's where I thought that this was. I did not realize that this was an Ed Wood film shot by Ted V. Michaels.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, I think, way back in the 90s when they did a lot of video releases of this, they touted it as, quote unquote, an Ed Wood movie, when in all reality, he just kind of wrote the quote unquote story.
There was a story?
There's an actual novel of Orgy of the Dead.
Shut the fuck up.
You can look it up on the Googles. I've never read it because I can't imagine what would be in that book. Because Paula, how would you describe the plot of Orgy of the Dead?
Oh God, I'd say Bat Pussy looks like Casablanca in comparison. Well,
now come on, that's not fair. That's not fair.
It's subjective, bitch. That's all there is to it.
That's not fair.
It's completely subjective. Okay, so there's this couple, and they go driving, and the girl gets freaked out by the guy's driving and says, turn around. And so he does. And she's like, you're going too fast. And so he goes over a cliff. And then they're on the ground, like you do. And then they're on the ground, and they land in a cemetery. And there's Dollar Tree fucking Vampira. And Vampira is already Dollar Tree Elvira. And fucking, okay. Who the fuck is Criswell?
Okay, Criswell, at the time in the 50s and 60s, was a TV personality that was kind of like Nostradamus. Okay. He would go on television shows and predict the future.
Okay.
And he was one of the cast of many miscreants that Ed Wood habitually put in his movies. Most notably, Plan 9 from Outer Space. He's the person that opens Plan 9 where it says Criswell predicts.
Okay.
And that was his gimmick when he would go on to TVs. So obviously at this point, well past the days when Ed Wood was making the notable movies that we all know him for, like Glen or Glenda and Plan 9 and Night of the Ghouls and all that stuff. This is full-bore alcoholism stages of these people. And right from the beginning, Criswell opens this one up, not unlike Night of the Ghouls or like Plan 9, where he's speaking, quote unquote, to camera. You can obviously see he's reading a cue card right below the camera the entire time.
Yeah, reading in cursive, yeah.
And he is the narrator / Lord of the Underworld of this movie.
Yeah, with that comb over, under, and around, how could you not be Lord of the fucking Underworld? Oh my God. Fucking hell.
So, as you were saying, these people wind up in this ritual that happens once every lunar cycle where Criswell, the Lord of the Damned, comes up to judge dancers and whether or not they will be subjected to the afterlife, or will they live in eternal damnation.
Yeah. So basically what we've got is a bunch of women dancing in a graveyard while Dollar Tree Vampira and Criswell look on. And occasionally there were some dudes with stripy skirts. Yeah.
You can't forget Criswell's henchmen are the Wolfman and the Mummy.
Oh, yeah, those guys who had very, very bit parts and came in every once in a while. Yeah. Yeah, this was because I'm not a 13-year-old boy.
Neither am I anymore.
Well, but you were. And apparently this still tugs at some nut sack strings that you had at that point.
There's no nut sack that was ever tugged to this movie, because this is perhaps the most lazy and boring of sexploitation movies ever made.
But I mean, like I said, I haven't been this bored looking at boobs since Showgirls. It was, I mean, I should be like, oh my God, because I mean, I love boobs. I love beautiful women. I love their beautiful bodies. I love boobs. And I was just like, really? This is it. So someone needs to bust Big Shim in here and like make some kind of drama. Where's Baby like masturbating on the bed with her fucking Christmas tree globe boobs? I mean, it was pretty, and it was stylistic, and it was all set in that graveyard. Was that graveyard the same one from Night of the Ghouls or Plan 9?
Probably, yes.
Okay, yeah. But it was just, I was bored shitless.
What, I gotta ask you, because you did say that this was stylistic. What was stylistic about this movie?
Well, I mean, just like when you watch a Tim Burton movie and everything's it was done on an indoor set that was obviously built for this, or at least 5 other Ed Wood films that were made. And so the stylistic nature of it, the girl with the very shocking red hair and her tight white shirt and skirt, and it was very much of its time and it was very stylized. It had a look. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
It had a look to it. The women who danced all had really amazing costumes that were in similar color schemes, a lot of cultural appropriation, like with the first one and the little sneakers and the little headband who was doing allegedly a Native American type thing. But I mean, it was very stylized in that it shot inside on a set, and everything had a very distinctive look to it. And I like that because I love like German expressionism and the 1970s, 60s and 70s Italian porno films that I did. It bored me. It really was just very boring to me because it was just, every time they go back from a dance scene and there'd be Criswell talking to Dollar Tree Vampira and be like, oh no, wait, there's time for one more. And then I'd see you go down and check how much time we had left in the movie. And it's like, oh my God, we're only halfway through.
The funny thing was, it wasn't me checking on time because of the nature of how we had to broadcast this thing. Whenever I move my mouse, it would just do that.
Okay, well that's what it looked like. And to me, I was like, how much longer do we have? Oh my fuck, we've still got like the entire second half of the movie to go. And there wasn't a plot. Like these people land in the graveyard or wherever, and they go and they tie them up to stakes, and then they're forced, as we are, to watch these women dance for their entry into hell.
Yes.
And the only time that it was any different than any other, where one didn't just appear and then disappear into the mist, was when that one woman was showered with gold and then turned to gold.
Yes.
And then you're back to the same thing. And so it was just this lather, rinse, repeat cycle of women coming out of the mist, women dancing, women going back into the mist. And like I said, not that they weren't beautiful, they were, but it was just boring.
Well, it is mixed up with Criswell, little bits of Criswell drunkenly, barely able to sit up on his own, spouting off lines of dialogue in a way only a man that had drank 3 handles of wild turkey could do.
And has absolutely no interest in women.
Has absolutely no interest in actually, like, speaking to anyone. His primary interest is perhaps passing out in a pool of his own vomit.
Yeah, I feel him on that. Especially after this fucking movie.
So the way I would describe, the way you react to this movie is perhaps the correct way to react to watching this movie for the first time.
Yeah.
Because it is perhaps one of the most boring nude movies ever made. But there's something extremely hypnotizing about this. Once you get into a crowd of people that start watching, you start talking, it becomes a party movie because it's so shitty. Some people like Troll 2. Some people like The Room. Some people like Neil Breen movies. And then there's those of us that like Orgy of the Dead.
No, I'm into all of those, and I get what you're talking about. And I had a really good time in the fucking chat room talking about this, but at the same time, it was just the same thing over and over and over again. I was waiting for some sort of disembodied, poorly CGI'd tiger to show up and somebody to hack into the government secrets,
No, there's no government secrets. There's no CGI.
Just dancing in a fucking graveyard. And they were lovely, but it was not. It was an hour and a half of that.
I would say, folks, if you like burlesque routines, this is like watching the chintziest burlesque show
they were the worst.
You've ever seen.
These women were like, it was like watching chickens dance in a barnyard.
Well, it's obvious that the music was put on well after the fact, and these people weren't dancing to what's being played.
The music was the music, but the way these women danced, regardless of what was playing for them, basically made them look like they were pecking for fucking corn on the ground. None of them were particularly graceful, or I'm trying to figure out which club on the Sunset Strip was dark that night, because he just went in and swooped up all the dancers and he was like, here's $20, peck like a fucking chicken. And they were like, got it, and this
one's passed out on the bar.
Yeah.
Let's grab her. This one's swaying in the alleyway. Let's get her.
Yeah, the dancing was not graceful or sexy or erotic in any way. the chick with the swinging titties. I
The
mean,
bride.
yes, the bride. It was like, that's the least sexy thing I think I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yes.
And again, please let me reiterate, I love naked women. I really fucking do. And this was just like, this left me cold. I was like, I don't want any of this. I don't, what this is like, if some woman came up in front of me at a bar and was dancing in front of me like this, I'd start laughing.
If I met somebody who freely admitted they masturbated to this movie, I don't know if I could contain myself with laughter. I don't know how you would ever like remotely get aroused by this movie.
No, it is the opposite of sexy.
So if you were to like, I know this is going to be very difficult for you, Paula.
What? Kick down.
If there was one dance that you would pick as your favorite, what would that be?
I think it was probably, and not for any like, oh my God, it was so amazing reason, but for thoroughly perverse reasons, the titty shaker with the skeleton. Just because it was so fucking ludicrous. I can't honestly pick one out. I did not find any of these to be sexy or attractive or anything that I would be like, oh my God, I got to go back and I got to watch that again. It was like, just no, just no. And that sucks when you're given this buffet of beautiful women to look at. And you're just kind of like, is that all there is? Really? That's it?
Yep.
That's it? That's all that these people who made this movie could come up with?
Yep.
That's it. Like you're like, oh my God, I literally have a stable full of beautiful women, and this is how I'm going to showcase them.
Yes.
They could learn something from Tinto Brass.
This was obviously shot in an afternoon.
Did you think a full afternoon? I'm getting like 2 to 5. That's what the sunlight during the car driving scene told me. They were somewhere between 2 and 5 in the afternoon, in between shifts, because, they had money to fucking make.
Yeah, classic Ed Wood hijinks where it switches between shots from day to night to stock footage of a random rattlesnake.
The random rattlesnake. Yes. The one time that popped in. Yeah.
This is the first time I saw this. I remember being shocked because at that point I had never experienced a level of cheapness like this before in my life where
this is a level of cheapness most people have never experienced. Yeah.
Well, it's not a level of cheapness most people would accept. Where I think most people would turn this on and turn it off within the first 5 minutes alone because we're treated to, after Criswell does his immortal intro monologue in the opening credits, we're treated to these two people that are driving in this car, and shot to shot, it goes from day to dusk to night to day to dusk to night to night to day to dusk.
Yep.
Between every single shot to a shot of them supposedly driving, sitting in a parked car, and it's supposed to be them driving because we hear the sounds of a car driving, and it's just a set that's just completely dressed black. It is so bargain basement.
Oh yeah.
And
I like bargain basement. I do. I love seeing what people can do with no money.
Right.
Like they were like, yeah. And so that pleases me, but this did not.
Oh my God. It is. Are you a fan of Ed Wood?
Yeah.
So the dialogue is all classic Ed Wood.
It just didn't have it was boring. I love Plan 9. I love Night of the Ghouls. Those are fun. This was just chicks dancing in costumes with Criswell's comb over. That's all this was. It was not. There was nothing. I love camp. I love Ed Wood. I love the weirdness. I love the goofiness. I love outsider art. I'm a fan, but this did not ring my bell.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it definitely in no way, shape, or form rang my bell. It didn't give me the same. I mean, I'll watch Plan 9 from here to eternity and be thoroughly happy, but this did not do the same thing for me.
Wow, I would choose this over Plan 9 any day of the week.
Well, yeah, boobs.
Well, not just the boobs. It is Criswell, and it is the Wolfman in the Mummy.
But they're in it so little.
But when they're in it, it is so fucking funny that I just like my heart, like the Grinch, grows 3 sizes during those scenes.
Yeah, it didn't. It did not redeem it for me. It didn't. It definitely did not redeem it for me. Those were like, by the time I got to those, I was like, it just, it was just so fucking boring.
Oh man, I get it. I get it. I
Yeah, I
can't like
know.
argue that fact because it is incredibly boring if you're looking for a plot or if you're looking for anything remotely sexy. If you're looking for perhaps one of the shittiest movies you've ever seen in your entire life, this is
Yeah,
it.
this is it with boobs.
With lots of boobs. I mean, there's some beautiful women in this movie.
Oh, beautiful women who really should only ever wear G-strings. Really. I mean, they should just walk around in those and be perfectly happy and proud of themselves and just let people admire them because they look amazing. I mean, these dancers were gorgeous. Their bodies were beautiful. And that's what I'm saying. It's like since Showgirls, I don't think I've ever been so bored with looking at so many beautiful bodies.
Yep.
There was nothing to it at all. And if that's what you're looking for, like Derek said, if you like the old striptease reels and that's what you want, that's what you're going to get because it's basically just a series of women in elaborate costumes dancing, taking off the costumes and bearing down to a G-string and a beautiful body and beautiful breasts and all beautiful booties and all that kind of stuff. But that's what it was. I mean, even at one point you were like, that really should have lasted 5 minutes. And that was a sarcastic comment because all these scenes, that's what it basically was just linking together scenes of women dancing.
Yep. It's just a burlesque routine, an ongoing
Yeah,
hour and a half burlesque routine.
a really poorly. I've seen better burlesque. That's for
Oh,
sure.
yeah, absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
most burlesque tries to choreograph its way with the music that is supposed to be entertaining in some way. This is so disconnected. Everything about this is so disconnected that the dancing comes off super awkward. The women look like they're high.
Well, yeah, and they're throwing elbows like they're high. There's a lot of elbows in this. Like I said, there's a lot of chicken winging going on. It was not sexy dancing. It was not. It's like, really, do you have to do that to your boobs? Your boobs are beautiful, yet your arms are out here like making like you're like strutting around the barnyard. I no, it's not working for me. It's just not. And their faces were just so. They looked like they were high. They did.
Oh, absolutely. Zombied out.
Yeah, they were just not paying attention, and they were just kind of like doing their chicken dance and then getting their money and walking off stage.
There is one sequence where my favorite sequence is the pussycat sequence, obviously.
Okay.
And this sequence, we have this woman come out in almost like a onesie that's supposed to be leopard print, black and white leopard print. And the boobs are cut out of the outfit and the butt is cut out of the outfit. And there's one of the helpers, the guys in the little dresses that were pinstriped.
Their little skirts.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's whipping her all over, and she eventually gets naked and
strips down to her G-string
and lays down and just moves her leg up and down for 3 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's flabbergasting. Everything about this movie's flabbergasting.
It's just burlesque. It's just one striptease act after another.
So
linked together by Criswell and his comb over and Dollar Tree Vampira, who finally at the end, and I guess there was supposed to be some sort of like, the woman from the wreck, the redhead who was supposed to, I guess, be Dollar Tree Vampira's reward at the end. Was that right?
Yes, that's what she wanted.
And then Dollar Tree Vampira dances at the end. And
as she's about to sacrifice.
Yeah, and then they wake up and there's paramedics around them, and it's all been some sort of crazy dream that the redhead, had in her concussion coma.
Having said all this, Paula, let's get to the Jackalman action on Orgy of the Dead. What are you giving this?
It's getting a half. I was really bored with this, but I love the style, the stylized setting, and the women were beautiful, if not bored. So it gets a half for me. I wouldn't recommend this to anyone except somebody who is very specific, where I'd be like, yeah, you'll probably like this. It was very Ted V. Michaels, I live in a castle in the desert with a bunch of maidens kind of mentality. Just women are there to serve men and to look pretty for them. And regardless of how bored and stoned they are to have to do it. It wasn't an interesting movie to me. So I'll give it a half for, like I said, for the stylization and for the women who were so beautiful and who worked so hard. But I wouldn't recommend this movie. It was boring.
And this may be the furthest we'll ever be apart from each other. This is a 5 Jackalman movie all the way for me. This movie is so fucking downright hilarious to me. It is stupid in every way. It is cockamamie in every way. It is cheap in every fucking way. But it has all the elements of goofiness that I love in shitty schmaltzy cinema. It has a dime store werewolf. It has a dime store mummy that sounds like he's talking through a tin can projected through a blowhorn every time he talks. Criswell looks like he's about to fall over drunk every second he's on screen.
Which he is.
Yeah, well, of course he is. If you love shitty Ed Wood cinema, there's so much within this to grab onto. Now, having said that, if you're watching this alone for the first time, yeah, this is going to be one hell of a boring fucking movie.
But if you watch it with your friends, kind of like Rocky Horror, you'll have a good time.
It is absolutely one of those.
We had a great time in the chat room talking about this. It was fun.
Yeah, it's totally one of those what the fuck experiences where if you have the right kind of people with a good sense of humor and they go into it realizing, you know what, if you like something where video like loops of women, just dancing.
Betty Page, Tempest Storm, all that.
Yeah, that's all this is. Only if these people didn't know how to actually shoot anything.
Yeah.
Or actually do anything correctly with the music, which over time, I love this shit. It's schmaltzy beatnik shit.
I can never resist vibraphone. Okay, it gets a 1 for the vibraphone.
Oh, it's wonderful. So
it's terrible.
It's so wonderful. This is one of my favorite shitty movies of all time. I've watched
Never again.
I watch it at least once every other year. It pops on. It is so fucking enjoyable to me.
Well,
so
I'm glad you gain pleasure from it.
Yeah. There's nothing sexy about this. If you're looking for a sexy movie, you're gonna be sorely disappointed.
Honestly, if you're looking for a sexy movie, don't come to this podcast. Despite it being about smut, I don't think we've watched a sexy one yet.
Felicity.
Okay, Felicity.
Images in a Convent.
Oh, there was some good stuff in that. Yeah.
School of the Holy Beast.
Not sexy, but fun.
Oh, there was nothing sexy in that?
God, dude, it's been so long. I've slept since then. I don't remember.
I've slept once or twice since then.
Once or twice since then. I just remember loving the movie. Yeah. It was beautiful.
So anyways, my final words on it is if you love shitty movies, you got to give this a try. If you don't have the patience for that kind of stuff, yes, avoid at all fucking costs. But for me, this is 5. The 5 is the 5 Jackalman movies.
It's a D5.
It's a D5, a level D5.
Jackalman. It's a P1 and a D5.
So
I give it the 1 for vibraphones and titties. So there you go.
That's fair. That's fair.
It is fair. I think it's totally fair.
See, I will never get down on somebody that thinks that this is the most boring thing they've ever seen because it's justified. It's totally justified.
Yeah.
So we don't have a book club at Orgy Castle tonight on the episode. So this is it for the show. So right now, Paula, we have discussed off here. We're going to go on hiatus for a while.
Yeah.
There's some stuff happening in my life, and I want to take a break from some podcasting. So we're going to go radio silent for a little while. And if you want to keep up when we're going to return, why don't you go over to the Facebook group of Podcast at Orgy Castle and go subscribe on there or hit the like or whatever you do on the Facebook gimmick. And we'll let you know as soon as we come back. But for the time being, go back and re-listen to all the episodes and enjoy.
Good. It's fun. How about it?
So Paula, just in case this may be a super long hiatus, I just wanted to say thank you for doing this podcast with me.
It was fun.
Is there any parting words you would like to say to the listeners?
Hang on, I wrote something down. This needed to be important, so I had to take notes.
Okay, so Paula, can you say this in the voice of Criswell?
No. In the words of Dollar Tree Vampira, I would have time for my own pleasures. Big Shim out.
Satan is the name she goes by. There's a lot of devil in her eye. Kiss a fire that burns you well. She breaks your heart and it hurts like words can't tell.